Welcome back to the Who's and the Yanks, where we talk everything Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. Tonight we'll be talking about the International Women's Summer Series match between the United States and Nigeria. In this one, the United States takes a 2-0 victory over Nigeria. And as the final game, too, for their Olympic tune-up, which still have more to come, but this was really the main focus, or one of the main focus, to really expose any issues that the United States had to work on. And so it was also played in the newly Q2 Stadium, too, in Austin, Texas, which is something also worth mentioning, as there were fans in the stands for the United States, though, rather than the club team Austin FC of MLS. But we'll see Austin FC play in action on this Saturday. But tonight was all about the U.S. women's national team, as the fans were loud, about 20,000 or 25,000, almost a full capacity, but not quite. But we talk about the game. Although it was a good atmosphere. The United States played a 4-3-3, and with Alyssa Mayer in the back of the net, with Dunn, Sauerbrunn, Dahlkemper, and O'Hara all on the back line, with the Mewis sisters on the wing, and with Haran in the middle, and then with Pino, Lloyd, and Press all on top. So 4-3-3 for the United States. And then we go to the 13th minute, where Nigeria has an in-swinging corner, but is punched away greatly by Alyssa Mayer. Great goalkeeping from the U.S. keeper to keep Nigeria off the score sheet, and also from getting that early goal, right? And we go to the 19th minute, where Sam Mewis tries to strike from distance, but the Nigerian keeper holds her ground and to deny her of that goal-scoring opportunity. And the United States kind of fires a shot back here. And then the 24th minute, a cross comes in from Megan Rapinoe to Kristie Mewis, but she has it on target. But it's another great chance for the keeper. Once again, great save. She was on her head this game. Got to give her credit. Give credit where it's due. 32nd minute, Christen Press sends a ball in as a shot, but in the way, it hits her head for Megan Rapinoe. I think she got in the way of the shot by accident, but it actually went into the back of the net. But it's caught offsides, as she was offsides. Still 0-0 for either team, but at this point, Nigeria is really doing a great job holding the United States and keeping them out of that final third. Right, they're having trouble building momentum and trying to find that goal, that opening goal, kind of like Portugal. Same thing. And I'll talk more about how this game and what similarities and differences were. But right now, Nigeria is kind of doing that same kind of tactic that Portugal did against the United States. But that would only hold true for the second minute of stoppage time in the 45th minute. But as soon as I said that they were doing great, a ball comes over the top for the Nigerian defense and lays right to Christen Press. She scores from the bottom left, easy as you like. USA are up 1-0 right before the half. And even the announcer said the best goals that are scored are right before the half or at the end of the game. If it's tied up or 0-0, 1-1, whatever, it's scored right before the halftime. Something to talk about the half. Although they probably talked about what really needs to be worked on rather than the goal. Although the goal did give good confidence, right, going into the halftime. But it is halftime, and other than the goal, not really too many chances for either Nigeria or the U.S. women's team. But and the same would hold true also for the second half. We really wouldn't get our first set of action into the second half until 85th minute, where a great ball comes in from Megan Rapinoe to Christen Press. She shoots it, but it's a brilliant save from the Nigerian keeper again, and she's on her head once again. But then in the 94th minute, the 4th minute of stoppage time at the end of the game, Lynn Williams gets a breakaway through the Nigerian defense, one-on-one with the Nigerian keeper, just takes a simple right touch and just around the keeper, just taps it into the back of the net. Ball trickles in. 2-0 USA. There's the dagger. End of the game. USA would take this one over Nigeria. 2-0. Now let's talk stats. The United States outshot Nigeria 14-7, so they doubled their shots. 6 of those U.S. shots were on target, while only the 1 for 7 for Nigeria. 72% possession for the United States, while only 28% for Nigeria. The United States completed 543 passes to Nigeria's 209. 83% pass accuracy for the United States to Nigeria, 50%. 11 fouls to 10. 2 yellow cards each, no red cards. United States 7 offside to Nigeria's 1. And the United States 4 corners to Nigeria's 1. So basically, this game was almost, although it was a little bit better, but it was almost a mirror of the Portugal game, the first game of this summer's series. But instead, the United States, I was worried about that too. I was like, are they going to improve, right? And it looks like there was some improvement in the final third, Although they didn't really get all their chances to fall, they got some at least, and the ones that need to count that went in, and there happened to be both stoppage time goals too. So that's something ironically too. But oh yeah, once again, not really the best performance, that dominating U.S. women's team that we're used to seeing, right? Blowing people away. This one, they just kind of did enough to get by, like the Portugal game, right? You know, they just did enough to get by, whatever they felt that was necessary. Could have been better, right? But once again, we got to give credit to Nigeria for holding that defense. You know, just like Portugal, that low block. And it seemed like the United States really seems to struggle with that low block defense, right? As we saw from both Portugal and this Nigeria game. You know, that's something that they can work at or use these games as film to analyze before their Olympic campaign. But yeah, neither team really had any opportunities. Nigeria had some here and there. USA actually had a little bit more, but once again, they couldn't really capitalize, and it really didn't lead to not much of anything, but it did lead to 2 goals, and the 2 goals, they did win them the game, right? They 2-0 blanked Nigeria, but got to give credit once again to Nigeria, how they played their defense. That was just outstanding, just like Portugal, especially playing arguably the #1 team in the world. You know, great defensive from them, great effort. Just like Portugal, they did well too. And but yeah, from this game, it was pretty great. Now, I want to talk about the new stadium, right? You know, I was really looking forward. This is one of the main reasons I was looking forward to the game. But also to see the new atmosphere in this new Q2 stadium, which is the future home, or now they're going to be the present home of Austin FC and MLS, which they open up on Saturday, their first game against the San Jose Earthquakes. But I wanted to see how the atmosphere sounded with USA fans, right, at least. And it sounded really loud, you know. The roof canopies really seemed to trap in the sound. It was just great. It was a lot of shouting, you can really hear the drums in there, right, and chants, and that's what I like about this stadium so far. You know, just analyzing it, I think about 4/5 capacity at least. You know, if it was about 20,000 or 25,000, and it's really going to be interesting to see how the stadium sounds at full capacity or a sellout crowd, right? At hopefully Austin will have that against San Jose this Saturday, but we'll find out once that time begins. But yeah, overall the new stadium it looked awesome, sounded awesome, everything about it was awesome so far. I mean, I can't wait to see more games being played in this one, including national team games and even just watching clubs come in here. Like I know the Gold Cup is also going to use the stadium too as kind of a venue to host, I think, the semifinal match and even maybe a few preliminary games. Although I think the preliminary games might be held in Dallas, but for sure it's either Houston or Austin for the semifinal matches. So we get to see one of those. The venue gets to host one of those games, and I can't wait to see it. Right? Even with Mexico or whoever's going to be in there, it's going to be loud and ruckus just everywhere, and I can't wait for that to happen. But my overall last thoughts on this women's game, you know, before the Olympics is just it's another great test, right? Portugal and Nigeria, I would say you should look at this one the most, right? Look at these 2 games the most to improve on, which is, you know, one thing that, of course, screamed out was, yeah, first I thought it was a final third, but you look at the picture as a whole, and it's just fighting against that low block defensive system from both Portugal and Nigeria, right? And, you know, teams like that might copy their way, you know, they might copy them in the Olympics and say, oh, you know, I think we have a United States weakness here, but we'll see what happens. You know, say the United States can really redeem themselves or even break down and find an easier way to break down that defense, right? So that's going to be interesting to look for in the Olympics, and that's something I'm going to be looking for too this summer. But yeah, other than the low block defense, everything else looked pretty decent. You know, once again, the defense, I think for the most part, stood on its head. You know, wasn't really tested, but you know, they play Sweden, Australia, and New Zealand in the United States' group, right? So Sweden is definitely going to be a tough test, and so is even Australia and New Zealand. I have no idea how Australia and New Zealand are, but I know for sure Sweden will be a test. And I don't know if they're going to use this low block system as both Nigeria and Portugal did, but if they do, hopefully the United States women will become more prepared for this, right? And they'll know how to deal with this. Now they have 2 games of those systems under their belt. But other than that, everything else looked pretty decent. You know, we get to see where how they do in the Olympics in an actual game that matters, right? Rather than friendlies, right? even though I know they did their best to kind of mirror what a friendlies or what kind of games they would be playing, right, back to back in the Olympics. But overall, it looked pretty great. No really any complaints. First game, I had complaints in the final third, but now I saw the overall picture, and it's just breaking down that low block defense, right? If you do, the opportunities are there. It's just you got to finish. But that's all I got to say pretty much for this game, and that does it basically for now. But and I and I don't know when the next game is in terms of the national teams, right? Both Canada and USA, men and women, but um, because I think it's in early July for the United States. They play their send-off series, right, against Mexico, dual games in Connecticut, and we're gonna see how that is. So the channel gets actually a 2-week break or something, and so during this week break, you guys can actually watch some more soccer. We got the Euros, we got Copa America, and we got the return of MLS coming back, right? So take this time during this break to watch some more soccer. Enjoy the crowd, the return of crowds, and the return of soccer in general during this COVID pandemic, right? We took it for granted, but now we find out how much it really means, right? Especially the fans in the stadium, how much of an atmosphere they give, right? But yeah, during this break, until another video is loaded, I encourage you to watch even some MLS clubs. If you have a favorite MLS club, watch them, follow them. If you don't, I encourage you to watch the league as a whole. The league is growing. The league is doing pretty great. Although, the Euros at the same time, I can see how, the Euros are definitely more exciting. But if you feel like you want to watch MLS, try it. I highly recommend it. It's getting better. Although some of the talent will be gone as Copa America is playing right now, right? So many of the South American stars in the MLS, I think like Joseph Martinez and a few others, may not be playing for their teams as they're playing for Copa America and their national teams. But yeah, for sure, I'm going to be watching my favorite Toronto FC, TFC, and I'm going to be watching Ryan Anderson make his kind of recaps on that too. So I'm going to have his link in my his link in my description below, so you can watch him. I highly encourage him. Once again, great guy, just really enthusiastic, and he really does a great job breaking down everything. And yeah, for the most part, I think that is it. Other than we got other action of soccer going on this summer. Just I highly encourage you to watch it, until another video is posted here. And hope you guys enjoy yourself. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe, share it with all your friends, and also tell all your friends that the USA is really getting ready for the Olympics.